Today, we're diving into a technology that could totally flip the script on electric cars. And the solution isn't some brand new, rare discovery. Nope, it's something you probably have in your kitchen right now.
So let me just ask you this. What if the key to making electric vehicles affordable and reliable for everyone wasn't some exotic element, but was sitting right there in your salt shaker? Yeah, we are talking about good old-fashioned salt.
Okay, but before we get to this amazing salt-powered solution, we've got to understand the problem. Why do we even need an alternative to the lithium-ion batteries that power, well, pretty much every EV on the road today?
Well, it really boils down to two major roadblocks. Look, lithium-ion batteries are great, but the lithium itself, it's pretty rare and it's expensive to get out of the ground. That creates all sorts of supply chain issues and keeps the price of EVs stubbornly high for a lot of people.
And this slide, wow, it just lays it all out perfectly, doesn't it? On the left, you've got lithium, not a whole lot of it out there. And on the right, sodium, which is just everywhere. It's incredibly abundant. That rarity is what makes lithium a bottleneck. And sodium's abundance, well, that's what blows the door wide open for a solution.
So if lithium is the hurdle, what's the answer? Well, it's time to meet the challenger, the sodium-ion battery. It's such an elegant solution that takes full advantage of that incredible abundance we just saw.
You know, at its heart, a sodium-ion battery works almost exactly like the lithium-ion ones we already know. It's a rechargeable system moving ions back and forth to store and release energy. But it makes one critical swap. It takes out that rare, expensive lithium and puts in common, cheap sodium. And that one little change makes a world of difference.
Okay, so what does that actually mean? What are the real-world, tangible benefits we get from just switching from lithium to sodium? Let's break them down.
There are four massive wins here that make this technology so incredibly exciting. We're talking cheaper materials, a huge boost in safety, amazing performance in the cold, and it's way more sustainable in the long run.
All right, let's start with a number that's a real jaw-dropper, especially for anyone who's driven an EV in the winter. Over 90%. So what on earth is this talking about?
This is how much of its performance a sodium-ion battery holds on to even at a bone-chilling minus 20 degrees Celsius. I mean, a normal EV can see its range just plummet by a third or even more when it gets cold. This technology, it just keeps on trucking. This isn't just a small improvement, folks. This is a total game changer for reliability.
And the next huge point is safety. Because sodium ions are physically bigger than lithium ions, they just don't create as much heat when they're moving around. This makes the whole battery chemistry way more stable and dramatically lowers the risk of what's called thermal runaway. That's the nasty chain reaction that can cause fires. Bottom line, it's a safer battery.
Okay, this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But is any of this actually happening in the real world? Let's see how this tech is going from the lab to an actual car you might see on the street.
Oh, you bet it is. And check out the timeline. The pace here is just insane. The battery giant CATL is set to show off its Naxtra sodium-ion battery in 2025. Then, just about a year later, by mid-2026, the very first EV using it, the DR 1.0, is scheduled to hit showrooms in Europe. This is not science fiction. This is happening, and it's happening fast.
And here's the car itself. Look at this package. The target price is under 19,000 euros, which would make it one of the cheapest EVs you can buy. The range is perfect for zipping around town, and get this, the charging speed, 10 to 80% in under 20 minutes. This is a practical, affordable car that tackles the biggest complaints about today's EVs head-on.
So, when you put this all together, what does it really mean? Could we be looking at the technology that finally makes EVs a real option for everybody? You know, the really crucial thing to get here is that this is so much bigger than just one new car. By slashing costs, making batteries safer, and using a material that's abundant and sustainable, sodium-ion tech is breaking down the biggest barriers to owning an EV. It's basically creating a clear path to make clean transportation a reality for millions more people.
Which really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. With a little help from ordinary table salt, are we standing on the edge of a new era? An era where electric cars aren't a luxury anymore, but a possibility for all of us? Thanks for tuning in to this explainer.